even after all the lawsuits and everyone canceling their subscriptions and Sony offering 50% off just to keep them. And I mean, despite all this stuff, they still seem content in just going off with this moves.
Hey guys, welcome to Insane Gamer. It's your boy Gamer. I got Mr. Insane here as well. And today we're going to be talking about the state of gaming when it comes to Sony, digital only, and also indie games. Be sure to like, sub, and share if you like this content, and comment below what you guys think about this whole deal. I'll let Mr. Insane take it away, man. What you got?
So basically, I think the most important thing to address is what, Sony declaring everything completely digital. They basically have declared war on physical media, and it's pretty much war on the entire gaming community because the entire gaming community has been pushing back. As you know, they stated not long ago that starting in 2028, they are completely stopping the production of physical discs for PlayStation games. And to prove that they're serious, these guys actually started spending over, what was it, $25-30 million in converting like their massive disc printing factory in Europe to make like car sensors and shit like that.
Crazy.
Yeah, and by 2028, the disc output, I mean, it's probably going to drop down to like 10%, which is crazy. Now, this is a massive, big deal for three main big reasons, okay? First of all, not only the financial but publicity, the public blowback from video. I mean, people are pissed off about this. Okay, let's start with one of the biggest things in the room. Basically, the lawsuits that are hitting Sony everywhere. A brand new $457 million class action lawsuit I read the other day was just filed in Europe.
Wait, how much? How much was that?
It was like $457 million.
Dang, $457 million. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was filed in Europe on behalf of nearly I think it was 3 million players? 2 million? I can't remember the numbers on that. But the argument is simple. By killing discs, Sony is creating a digital monopoly where they control 100% of the prices, which they will if this passes, right? If this goes through. This is going to kill it. I mean, they've been killing store sales already, but this is going to devastate it. I mean, just completely. Old mom and pop shops were pretty much replaced by like Video Game Crazy and GameStop, right? Then when the digital stuff came in, then the prices from GameStop, I mean, pretty much GameStop put Video Game Crazy out of business, okay then? But since everything was started going digital, people started shopping less and less in GameStop. You know, a lot of GameStops went out of business. I don't know if there's any, a bunch of them. The one by my house is gone. So I don't know if there any of them still out there hanging by a thread. But this is just going to put the final nail in the coffin. Might as well just shut down now. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, cut your losses.
So this is this lawsuit that they did. This is on top of a massive £5 billion pound lawsuit. I think it's pounds. Wrapping up in the UK right now. That's over the inflated digital storefront prices. And I mean, this is just one thing. I mean, these lawsuits are just one thing. The second one is the you owe nothing panic. I mean, all gamers are going through it. I mean, you've heard about it. We've talked about it. It's only a license that you're buying. It
you own nothing.
It can be revoked by Sony at any time. So you don't actually own your game. We read about all those movies that Sony, they lost the license for, something like that. They had to remove all these movies from the libraries from a bunch of players. And basically, if you get revoked, you don't have a physical. I mean, your game is gone. Let's say they revoke your license for something that's unfair. That's not your fault. They revoke it. You spend money. You're not going to get that money back.
Nope.
The game is gone.
Can't resell it. You can't even resell it, right? GameStop's at the picture.
And the last thing is this: the fake stats, the fake lie. Sony claims that they're doing this because over 80% of game sales are already digital. But I looked around and I read a lot of analysts point out that Sony's hiding the fact that 80% includes free-to-play downloads and microtransactions. The reality is that the vast majority of PS5 consoles sold they've been disc virgins. People want the choice to buy their discs. You know about the petition. You sent it to me not long ago. I went ahead and I signed it. A lot of
Yeah,
gamers are
me
signing
too.
this petition. Don't kill the disc petition. It's been passed around. I think 250,000 signatures are already on it. I passed it on to 5 other people, and I told them to pass it on to others. So the war is going on right now.
Also,
Sony
too,
is
real
at war
quick
with
though,
gamers.
real quick, I'm
Yeah.
gonna drop the link to that in the video for you guys listening. You can sign the petition as well. At the recording of this video, 291,265 have signed this petition. So the more, the merrier.
It's really interesting the way things are going, and I think it's funny that they went ahead and they dropped this when Wolverine is coming out later on this year. We got GTA 6 later on coming on this year. Disc prices are gonna go up, or
100%.
disc sales are gonna go up. I think it's a
100%.
bad time to drop this right now. I seriously do. I mean, it was like a bombshell. I didn't see this coming. I don't know if you did, but
I
that's all I
didn't.
got.
I didn't. Nah, I didn't see it coming at all, dude. I mean, of course they dropped PS5 digital and PS5 disc. I didn't bat an eye to it, but then when you really think about it, oh wow, they had a plan from the beginning. Let's give them the digital. Let's just show them this digital version. Let's see how many people buy it. If it hits this number, we'll go full digital. That's kind of the way I think it all went down. But on the other side of this whole thing, with the whole, digital only, and you got Sony getting sued and people wanting their discs and even inflated game prices, I think, and I had this short that I posted about it, I think that these AAA games, right, they're going to be competing heavily with indie games. That's what I think is going to happen. Because per my research and news that's out there, you got Bethesda, Xbox owns Bethesda, you got Enhancer Group, you got Sony, EA. A bunch of these video game companies have laid off thousands and thousands of
I
people,
think we lost you,
some
buddy.
hundreds, depending on how big or small the studio is. I know you heard of this. And my point to all this is that I'm tired of these AAA games. Let's take God of War. They got now God of War Lafay. It's like, okay, what the heck is this, man? This is a 180. What are we doing with it? I get it. These big companies want profit, so they're gonna try to, milk something for as long as they can. But people like gamers that play games or even fans of a certain franchise, we can see past that. We're like, dude, you're just doing things at this point. We can see it. You know what I mean? So I think what's going to happen is with this whole digital only thing and this whole just AAA games ain't being what they used to be, I think indie games are going to have a comeback. I think those guys that were laid off, they weren't just getting paid $20,000 a year, okay? They were getting paid bank. Some of them millions, some of them hundreds of thousands, okay? Especially for the course of 10 years, they got money in the bank. They understand how these game companies work. They also have names, right? Some of these guys, I don't know their names, but I'm pretty sure those big developers out there, they got names and skin in the game. I think they're going to turn around and say, okay, big AAA, okay, big Sony, big Xbox, watch this. I believe these guys are going to start their own companies and they're going to start putting passion back into gaming, right? They're going to make a game that people are going to love because they're going to love making it. You get what I'm saying? I think they're going to make a comeback. And on top of that, too, with indie games, right? These indie games are probably going to be cheaper than these AAA games because if a developer really wants to put out a video game, right, because he never could because he was just working for these companies, if he could put out his own project and really, zone in on it, it's going to be a decent project, or probably a very good project. It's probably going to be a full game, not a bunch of microtransaction DLC type of stuff because these developers know, man, we're nickel and diamond people. But an indie studio, I think, will be like, you know what? We're going to drop this full game and then maybe, just maybe some DLC. But the DLC is going to be like outfits and stuff, not pieces of the game they left out. So that's the way I think it's all going to go down. I think indie games are going to make a comeback and they're going to be cheaper than the AAA titles and maybe even better. I also think pirating games is going to be a thing. If these companies really go all digital, okay, and you can disagree with me if you want, I think pirating games, right, illegal gaming, call it what you want, people are going to figure out a way to not pay that premium for these digital only games. They're going to figure out a way to like copy them onto discs that they can sell to people at a lower price. I'm just saying, we saw it with CDs back in the day. We used to buy, I remember you used to buy and I used to buy, you know, burnt CDs all the time. You know what I mean?
All the time.
I even remember on Dreamcast, they had this company that made Gran Turismo compatible with Dreamcast. Pretty much you would buy this disc, I forgot the name of it, right? You put that disc in your Dreamcast, then you take the PlayStation disc, after that disc loads and whatever, you then take the PlayStation disc of Gran Turismo, stick it in your Dreamcast, boom, now you can play Gran Turismo with the PlayStation disc on your Dreamcast. You see what I mean? So I think the technology is there. People just have to figure it out. You know, whoever these, you know, hackers, call them what you want, they figure all this out, then hey, gaming will be fair again, in my opinion. You want to go all digital? Okay, then watch this. Let's level the playing field with pirated games and really, really legit indie games. But, man, that's pretty much all I got, man.
Yeah, one thing's for sure is that I really don't know how this is going to end. We know that the CEO, a bunch of other board members from Sony, they started selling their shares once they made this announcement. So they knew the way that people were going to react. And I think that they did this in order to minimize their losses. You know, if this lawsuit happens and they lose, a lot of money's going to go out, but at least they're safe. You know what I mean? But right now, that's pretty much the trajectory. Layoffs are happening. Physical discs are dying. Sony's at war with a bunch of gamers, and people right now are pretty much pissed up at all these big corporations and companies. You know, people lost their jobs and stuff like that. But it's still uncertain the way things are going to happen. I mean, I have a feeling that no matter what we do, I mean, it's got to be something drastic, a big, huge, drastic move that's going to make Sony kind of, you know, move the other way, because they're still going. They don't show any intentions of stopping. Even after all the lawsuits and everyone canceling their subscriptions and Sony offering 50% off just to keep them. And I mean, despite all this stuff, they still seem content in just going off with this move. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean,
well, we can only see. You got to sit back, relax, and watch the show. You see what I'm saying? That's all we can really do. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I got for today.
Yeah, same here. Nah, I'm good as well, man. But like I said before, the petition is in the description of this video. Definitely go sign that so we can keep our digital discs. I'm just saying it's good for the ecosystem. We don't want monopolies. We really don't. And again, be sure to like, sub, and share this video. Hit the bell for notification. I'm Gamer.
I'm Insane. And as always, Insane Gamer out.
Next Gen Gaming starts here.